Okay, here we go. Please take a look at the warm-up that you have there on your page. Please take a look at the original problem and decide who is correct and why they're correct. You know, typically in math, it's the other way around. Why do you think Samantha's right? And what did Samantha set it equal to? 0. Folks, what about this problem tells me that it needs to be equal to 0? Why can't I just put the 12 over there and isolate it? There's two types of variables. Does everybody agree that x squared and x are different? Which means I can't just isolate, I have to set it equal to 0. So is everybody okay with Samantha being correct here? Yes? And you understand why she's correct, yes? Okay, so go ahead and write me a sentence explaining that. Typically, yes. Typically. Well, that's here nor there. What's up? I really like Samantha's right because she has like 2 answers. Does Zach only have 1? Yeah. Well, how do we know she has to have 2 answers? Yes, but what's the highest power in the problem? No, highest power. 2. Whatever the highest power is, folks, that's how many answers you should have. So yes, you would be correct as well. So what if the highest power is 3? 3 answers. Okay. Are we all okay there? Now, you should be able to fill in this middle section on your own. Okay. If you can't, here it is from yesterday. Okay. Go ahead and fill it in. You fill it in for me? Does everybody have a notes? I see that it's empty over there. Do we have enough? Yes? Okay. Remember, 2 things. You always need to look for a GCF. It makes your life easier. It can make the numbers smaller. Second thing, you only need to slide and divide if it doesn't start with a 1. Okay? But if it does not start with a 1 and you are going to slide and divide, don't forget to do the dividing step. Okay, I'm still having some people that are forgetting to do that dividing step. Is everybody okay there? Does anybody have any questions before I get started? No? The first one that I'm going to do... No, flip it over for me. Is number 3. That's where I'm going to start. And again, I'm going to do 4, and you're going to do 2. Everybody ready? Yeah? Okay, so number 3. First of all, is this something that needs to be set equal to 0? Yes, because there's r squared and r, right? And good news is it already is equal to 0, so now I need to factor by -1 as my GCF. If I divide it by -1, what's left? How about, it's not plus 40, minus 40. That's okay. Everybody doing okay here? Because I don't want to start with that negative either. Now, I really like what I ended up with because how many terms are in here? There's 3. And what does it start with? A 1, which is good, right? Do I need to slide and divide? I do not. I'm going to drop down my -1, and I'm going to go straight to making 2 binomials. They're going to start with r, and we're looking for factors of 40 that will subtract to 3. 8 and 5 or 5 and 8, doesn't matter which way. Symbols need to be different, and the bigger one needs to be plus. Now, do I need to divide by anything? No, I don't. I now just need to find my answers. Now, does everybody see how there's 3 factors here? Yes? This does not give me an answer because there's no variable with it. Okay, the other two, I need to set equal to 0, and I need to isolate them. -8 is one of them. 5 is the other. How many answers is this? Because the highest power was 2. Yes, sir. How so? It's way easier to do it this way. Less room for error. Okay. Is everybody okay with number 3? Okay, I'm going to go to number 5 next, please. Number 5 next. First things first. Is this something that needs to be set equal to 0? Yes, because we have a squareds and a's. So how do I get this equal to 0? Does that 60a get to go with the 15a squared? It does not. And I'm going to write the 15a squared first. Now we're ready to factor. What can I take out of both of them? Is everybody good with the 15? What else can I take out? An a. So we're going to have 15a out front. What do I get when I take that out? A and then -4. Does anybody have any issues on how we came up with that thing inside of there? Question. How many terms is inside of here now? 2. Do you have any way to factor 2 terms? I only have something for 3 and 4, yes? Now tomorrow I'm going to teach you what to do with 2, okay? But as of right now, you don't have any way to factor this. Fair enough? So we're done with this part, but I have to now find my answers. Set them equal to 0. So you get 0, correct? Is everybody all right with an answer of 0? That is an answer. Don't tell me this doesn't give me an answer. This one does because there's a variable with it. What will the other answer be? 4. Anybody have any issues here? No? Are we sure? Doing okay? Number 6 is the easiest one on the whole page. It's already equal to 0, and it's already been factored for you. So what do you have to do? You just have to write them down and solve it. So can you do that for me, please? Hopefully, you're subtracting the 6, and then you're dividing by the 2, and you should get -3. Is everybody okay with that? And then on the other one, that's pretty easy, and you should get a 1. Now, folks, there's 2 answers here, correct? But was there a squared in the problem? Not technically, but isn't this multiplication? Uh-oh. So wouldn't I cut this in half and do this? You agree? But what happens when I distribute this? That's where my second power comes in. Is that all right for everybody? Yeah. It just, the sticky stuff fell. Is this okay for everybody? We're good? Now, no, you don't need to do this, but I was just showing you why there is 2 answers even though there's not a squared up there. Okay. All right, the last one I am going to do is going to be number 12. Okay. First things first, is this something that needs to be equal to 0? Yes. Because, this time I actually have 3 variables. I have x's, x squareds, and x to the thirds. I have a GCF of x. So if I take the x out front, 4x squared plus 4x minus 3. Now, folks, how many terms do you have in there now? 3, which means I'm either going to do binomials or I'm going to slide and divide. Which one is it? Slide and divide because it starts with a 4. Now, I'm going to drop this x down to the bottom so I don't forget about it. What's my new problem when I slide that to the back? -12. Now we're ready to make those two binomials. What are we looking for? Factors of 12 that subtract to 4. Okay. Do my symbols need to be the same or different? And the bigger one needs to be addition. Guys, are we following Dylan here? Yeah? Okay, but what do I need to divide by? The 4. All right? Yeah, you're almost done. This will end up being 3 over 2. And this will be a half. What's that? Okay, now remember, we got to fix this. We're going to move this 2 to the front, and we're going to move that 2 to the front. This 2 right here gets moved to the front. You're good? Okay. Now, how many factors do I have? I have 3 factors. They all are going to get me an answer. Now, this first one is already isolated, isn't it? So what's my answer here? 0. What are you going to do with the second one? Oh my goodness. Subtract 3, divide by 2. How about the other side? The other one? Add 1, then divide by 2. Do I care whether you give me a decimal or a fraction? I don't. If it's a decimal, though, and it's repeating, you better put the repeating bar over it. Otherwise, it is incorrect. Okay, so does everybody understand what's expected of them? You're going to find your partner or work alone. It doesn't matter to me. You're going to do 2 problems. When you're finished with those 2 problems, I'm going to check them. If they're correct, I'll give you your homework and you'll be on your way. Okay? If they're incorrect, I'm going to ask you to fix them and then do another one. And you'll keep doing them until you get one right, and then you'll get your homework. Then I'll give you more. I got plenty of problems. All right, have a good day. Go ahead and get started. Do me a favor and put that poster the rest of the way off that wall.